Hello and welcome to day two of training session for Indian Debating League 3.0. Yesterday we talked about a bit about the introduction to the format, and today I'm going to teach you more about the format and the sub theme. But let's first try to understand as to what's the theme. And I think there's something I've already told you. Theme does not mean that your topic is this. Theme is just a broader general understanding as to what topics could come from it. I've already told you that the theme is going to be ancient India to AI-led India. You are going to know so much more about Indian history and how India developed throughout a really long period of time. But in terms of what exactly is going to be the sub-theme for your first round, in which you will have three rounds, one versus one debates, there are so many things that India discovered in past, a lot of it. And I'm basically going to ask you again to do fastest fingers first in the chat box. Can anyone recognize anything from the pictures and tell me as to what it is? So in the chat box, tell me what do you find out and what do you think India has discovered. I will tell you what it is. Okay, somebody says spices. Somebody says Ayurveda. The answer is correct. It is Ayurveda. Yes, Vedic medicines. Math, yes. So this one is called Pythagoras theorem. India should be credited for that. Ayurveda, 100%, yes. Can you recall the lady with something? Can you think of what it is? Yes, it is spinning wheel. Yes, it is spinning wheel. Wonderful. So this one, can you think of what's happening in this picture? Some surgery, yes, but what surgery? So this person is trying to fix something on face. So it's basically plastic surgery. And this one, can you think of what's happening in this picture? Just try to picturize what's happening in this picture. It's a market, yes, but what's happening in the market is that the person is trying to weigh something. So India should also be recognized for the weighing scale that we discovered. So yeah, India basically should be credited for a large number of discoveries that India made, which is why the sub theme is unsung discoveries of India. So you will probably have topics which are going to be based on out of many unsung discoveries of India that India has done in past, and how other countries basically appropriated it, or how other countries stole it from us, or how we just forgot about these and why we should probably remember them. But you might probably are thinking as to how it's a topic for debate. The reason as to why it's a topic for debate is simply because we will frame the topics in such a way where you get to pick, like where you we will also give you a side, obviously, where there is two conflicting opinions, and then you're supposed to support or oppose that particular topic. This is what the theme of IDL looks like. All right, we'll now move forward to what exactly is the format. I think yesterday we had a very good session on you telling me as to what the format is, what's the time limit, everything, which made me believe that you all are 100% sure about the format. But I'm going to repeat it as to what one versus one format in qualifiers means. It basically means that you are debating and competing individually in this competition, which means that we will tell you as to which room you're supposed to go and whether you're proposition or opposition. If we tell you that you're proposition, you're supposed to support the motion. If we tell you that you're opposition, you're supposed to oppose the motion. Now, in a room, there are going to be two individuals. One is going to be supporting the motion, another person is going to oppose the motion. Now, how will the speeches actually be? Since you're already given the topic, you will prepare a 3 minutes constructive speech. I will tell you how to prepare your constructive speech in a bit, but the structure looks like this. If your proposition, you will give the 3 minutes constructive speech, after which your opposition is going to give 3 minutes constructive speech, after which, if because your proposition, you'll give another speech of 3 minutes, which is going to be reply speech, and then you have op reply speech. So it basically means if your proposition, you'll give 3 minutes constructive speech, and then you'll listen to your opposition, and then you'll again give a reply speech. If your opposition, you'll first let your proposition speak for 3 minutes, and then you'll give a 3 minutes constructive speech. You'll then again listen to your propositions reply, and then give them a reply on their speech. So this is what the structure of the format looks like. I will now entertain questions before I move forward to more intricate details. Yes, these questions are supposed to be specifically to the format itself and nothing more. So if your question is anything more than the format, I won't entertain it. Let's say, okay, Kavit, what's your doubt?
I have two doubts.
Hmm.
First doubt is that the opposition's reply speech should be of the proposition's constructive speech, right?
Yes, it should be of the proposition constructive speech, but if you have something more to say about the proposition reply speech, you can say about that as well.
And the other is there a different format for reply speech?
Yes, I will tell you how to structure your reply speech.
Uh,
No, the format is not the same for semifinals and finals at Delhi. Okay, Vaishnavi?
Ma'am, will we be given the topics, the motions at the spot? And if yes, then
No,
how
you will
much
get
time?
you will get pre-hand. You'll at least get 3 days. That's minimum, but you'll get more than that time because you will probably get the topics after 21st of October. So I'm not telling you the date as of now, but like the like so we will only be able to give it to you after 21st of October.
Okay.
Another? Okay, that's my mistake.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
we have to prepare for both?
No, we will tell you whether you're proposition or opposition.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be given beforehand, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Saisha? Okay, you're like you're still muted, Saisha.
Ma'am,
Oops. Okay. Yeah.
ma'am, I was not able to unmute.
Yeah.
Ma'am, is the topic gonna be same for round 1, 2, and 3?
No, you'll get different topics each round.
Thank you, ma'am.
Aradhya, what's your doubt?
So each round has one chapter, like
Each round has one topic, yes.
so, like first round ancient. So like
No,
this
it's
first.
not based on that.
Will all three
All
topics
three
be given?
rounds are going to be based on unsung discoveries of history of India.
Miss, will all three topics be given by the 21st?
No, so the 21st is basically the date when you can, like, after which we'll start giving you topics. So 21st is like the date after which we'll start it. So 21st is not the date when you're getting the topics.
So from
But yeah,
22nd.
yes,
Okay.
we will give all the topics together. Yes. Aradhya?
Yes, ma'am. I was wondering there will not be any impromptu speeches, right?
No, no impromptu for you all. Kavit, do you have another question? Okay, that's my mistake. Okay, Aradhya, what's your doubt?
I had a question.
Just a second. Yeah, Aradhya, you can continue and then I'll come back to you, Kavit. Aradhya?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I wanted to say, like in last class, you showed that two of the rounds will be topics will be given before and one will be impromptu.
But I changed it in the PDF and I also told you that I won't keep any impromptu rounds.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Kavit.
Yes. My doubt is that the topics given on the 21st of October will be the same on the round one,
Yeah,
and
yeah. So we won't give any more sample topics. They'll be the actual topics.
we have to prepare on those topics
Yeah,
before
yeah.
this the
Yeah,
date,
correct. Yes. They're all
and then we
prepared.
have to. Oh.
Yes, Anushka?
Ma'am, will the topics for semi-final and final also be given on 21st?
No.
Miss, will the proposition and opposition stay the same for all three rounds, or will we switch from prop up, or will it
I'm
be only up?
I couldn't understand what you're saying. Can you repeat?
Miss, will we be proposition or opposition for all 3 rounds?
No, you will be given different sides each round.
But will we get it prior?
Yeah, you will get it prior.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Can we, okay, somebody asked, is prop, like does prop mean for or against? Yeah. So prop means for and op means against. Nivan, what's your doubt? And then we'll move forward. Nivan?
Miss, will rounds me be on consecutive days or like one
No,
round?
so out of the timeline that we've given to you, we will tell you the exact 3 days when you're supposed to be debating. So not, it can be consecutive days, it cannot be consecutive days.
Miss, could the debate be in the morning or evening? Or
It's going to be in
only...
evening. It's going to be, it's not going to hamper your school schedule.
Miss, what time would one of the debates start?
We will tell
in, like-
you. We will tell you the timing. It's not something that you should worry right now.
Miss,
Nivan? Okay, Kashvi?
Yes, I was saying like when we will if some people go to the finals, so when they win the finals, will something special like prizes or something will be
Yes,
there?
you will get prizes. We have absolutely amazing medals, March of Ogli, and then you also have like trophies. So it's going to be really interesting.
Miss, one more question. Will
Yeah.
the Delhi be paid for?
No,
flight.
it's something that you need to bear yourself. Okay, somebody asked, do we need to make eye contact with the judges? Yes, you're supposed to make. Who else are you making eye contact with? So it's going to be either judges, like both judges and opponents. And because it is online, you will basically look at the camera. So you're making eye contact with the camera. Alia, I meant that you will, so we have a couple of prizes. We have individual awards, we have team awards, we have awards for the youngest, most debaters, etc. So all of these are given through Ogli merch. It's given through medals, trophies, a lot more. So you should probably watch out and look at what we have got. But let's move forward with the training. I really want to teach you about how you're supposed to make a good speech. Let's start with, how do you structure your constructive speeches? So constructive speeches are for both. Basically first speeches, which is for both proposition and opposition. Now, how exactly are you supposed to structure your speeches? You're supposed to structure it in the format of introduction, body, conclusion. I'll tell you specifically what you're supposed to add in introduction, body, and conclusion. But this is the format for all speeches. So irrespective of whether it's first speech, reply speech, third speech, or we don't have third speech, but like irrespective of whichever speech it is, the format is going to be introduction, body, conclusion. The only thing that changes is what exactly are you supposed to add in introduction, what exactly are you supposed to add in body, etc., etc. So what is the aim of your constructive speech? You're supposed to defend your stance with strong points and explain them. So you're supposed to research and articulate your research in such a way that it basically makes some sense out of, let's say, things like how is one thing more beneficial, more efficient, more productive than the other. So you basically give all reasons as to why the judge should believe in what you're saying is better than your opponents. For example, if you tell me, or if you ask me, should I rather take bicycle to school or should I take school bus? And then let's say your stance is going to be that, hey, we should probably take bicycle rather than school bus. You will tell all benefits of bicycle versus school bus. But when you're defending school bus, you're going to tell all the benefits of school bus. So you could talk about, hey, when you're basically traveling through bicycle, you probably don't have that much of safety. But when it comes to school bus, you have so many more people together. You're much more safe, secure, and you're also having a good time with your friends. So this is how you're going to defend your stance with, let's say, giving good reasons and also supplying them with good examples and illustrations. But what are they? I'm going to give you more explanation to that. But what you need to remember from what constructive speech's aim is that you are giving the judge all the reasons as to why your side is better, and you're giving all the reasons and all good points as to why what your side is saying has so much, like, makes so much more sense than what your opponents. Remember what I told you about debating? It's conflict of opinion. Two people have different opinion, and you're supposed to prove as to why your opinion of your side is better than the other. Yes, Darsh, what's your question?
That it's about what do we have to say about, like, do we have to tell them what improvements that India makes?
No,
And
it's going to be dependent. It's going to be dependent on your topic. So you won't know what you will do unless you know your topic.
but but it's only about the what should we upgrade about history, and what should
No,
we.
it's so. Here's the thing. You will get your topic, and I gave you an example of what topic you can get. So, for example, if it is about neem being appropriated by Western countries, on your side, you'll first tell about how India is the originator of neem, and then you will tell why India should basically get all the credits for that. So this is how the debate is going to function.
Telling them of is it NEEM? What is
Yeah, neem, the leaves, the neem tree.
So it can be accepted.
What?
It can be accepted.
Yeah, so it's just an example. So you can have topics similar to that. But yeah, just don't ask me questions about topic as of now, because I mean, I think I'll be able to clarify it so much more better if we give you the topic, and we won't give you the topic right now. Kashvi, what's your doubt?
Miss, I had a question and I also wanted to tell you something.
Okay, ask me the
Uh,
question.
Okay, so the question is, like, when we are giving the qualifiers round, so if we like, if we don't pass, so will we get eliminated? I'm
Yes.
going to the
So
washroom
after
for
the qualifiers round, based on your 3 rounds performance, if you're not amongst the top three, not top three, but if you're not amongst the top performers, you will be eliminated after 3 rounds. So you get to debate 3 rounds, and don't think about elimination right now. Give your best. I think you all will do
And
good enough.
miss,
It's all about qualification.
can I go to the washroom? I'm just going by.
Yeah, sure. Kavit?
Miss,
Yeah, okay, Kashvi, tell.
and miss, I wanted to tell you something that yesterday in the evening when me and my mom, like, we were walking down in the street. So I thought that so me and my mom debated on junk food and is junk food good or is healthy food good?
That's nice. I'm happy that you all are engaging in small debates with your parents. Probably debate with your friends as well. That'll be wonderful. Good job, Kashvi.
Thanks, miss.
Yes, Kavit.
Ma'am, do we have to give each example after argument, or we can give just one example which has the points of all the arguments?
You can do either, but I'll tell you as to why it's better to give one example under each argument.
Ma'am,
Yes. Okay, Vaishnavi.
Ma'am, how many children will be selected?
I can't tell you the numbers as of now. It's always dependent on how many people actually show up and what's the performance. So we look at the aggregate and how everybody performed. So it's based on that. So it's based on how you all perform. I can't tell you the numbers as of now. Ayan?
Ma'am, can we do a small debate? Can we go to breakout room and do debates right now, please?
So we will do that tomorrow, because tomorrow's idea is going to be mock debates and stuff like that. So wait for that. But today there's so much more that you first need to learn before debate in the first place. So
43 is the odd number.
huh?
Ma'am, dividing cycle with 43 is the odd number. And if tomorrow the 42, so can be?
So okay, I if time permits before today's session, I will take one debate. Okay, But I'll first finish this and I'll then take a debate.
Ma'am,
Okay, before that, Anushka, what's your doubt? And then Ali, I'll come back to you.
Ma'am, like when we get a topic like plus, like something we don't know, we feel like that it's bad for our health, but we get like it's good for our health. So, like, how will you teach us how we defend it?
So, firstly, the topics are given to you pre-hand, which means that you can always Google and read books and find out as to how you can defend it. So, research well and you will get points a lot more better. But secondly, if you're still like finding it difficult, you can always contact us and we can help you with respect to how you can channelize your research.
Okay.
Alia?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I wanted to tell you something.
Okay.
I have done two debates. One is that when I debated with my friend whether AI was better or whether books were better, and the
Mhm.
second debate is when there was like this debate which I did on a workshop of English something. Our like teacher, our ma'am just put a small debate where I had to do a debate with a boy called Divit. So
Mhm.
this was the topic whether we should drive a car to our school or whether we should take the bus to our school.
That's really nice. So I always encourage everybody to debate small topics and even big topics. I think it's
And
always
I
good.
really enjoyed it for the fact
That's
it was
wonderful. I'm
kind of
so
fun.
happy.
It was
Good
kind
job.
and it was kind of interesting as well that I got to know about debating and all debating.
Good job, Alia. Very good. Really proud. Can we move forward to how exactly you're supposed to give introduction? And then I'm going to give you examples. So a lot of your doubts probably are going to be answered after I'm finishing all of these slides. So hold on for now. So how exactly are you supposed to introduce your topic? First, there are three ways. You can choose either or you can do all three. It's all up to you. I can just give you a way how you can actually do it. First, introduce your topic with a rhetorical question or a statement. So you can probably give a good question to the judges for the judges to ponder about. Second, give a brief understanding about your topic before defending your stance. So you can basically tell the judges as to what the topic is about, what's happening in the world with respect to that topic. Lastly, you can start with those famous quotes relevant to the topic. So you can probably give a quote from, let's say, Mahatma Gandhi or like famous speakers that you know have, based on your research, have said something similar or very relevant to the topic. You can always find out things or statements from them. So there are three ways. Either you give a question, rhetorical question, like a very big question that you're imposing to giving it to the judge, but then obviously you cannot let the judge answer that. It's just a rhetorical question. For example, how many of you all think that India is a developed nation rather than developing nation? So it's just a rhetorical question. I'm not expecting any answer from you. And then give a brief understanding about your topic. So you're basically telling us to what the topic talks about, and then what is going to be your stance later. And then last way is probably quote or famous statements from somebody. I'll give you specific examples now. Let's say if the topic is India should not adopt Western style of education. In your introduction, if you're supposed to start with, let's say, a quote, so I would say, I quote Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. The end product of education should be free, creative man who can battle against historical circumstances and adversities of nature. So I'm basically starting with a quote that has been said by somebody who is as prevalent and as known as Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Can anyone tell me how do we celebrate his birthday?
Teachers Day.
Vaishnavi?
Teachers Day.
Yeah, see, so you are supposed to find people who are generally known to most number of people, and which is why I'll be more interested to know as to what you're saying, because you're telling me something about somebody who is very famous person. So you can probably start your speech by that. But then if you don't want to start your speech by that, you can start your speech by explaining as to what Western style of education looks like. How did India start adopting Western style of education? But then if you're supposed to start your speech as a rhetorical question, you will say, even after 77 years of independence in India, is India really free from Western influence? So this is just a question, but I'm not expecting an answer. But this is just a good introduction because the judge is now going to listen to you because it's attractive for the judge. So your introduction in general is supposed to be very interesting. It's supposed to be something that grabs the attention of the judge. And it's also something that is relevant to the topic. That's the most important thing. Now, with respect to introduction, is there any question specific to introduction? I can see 2 hands being raised. Darsh, is your question related to introduction?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
will they ask us the questions and will ask us the questions about India's history, about
No,
ancient India?
it's not. Nobody is asking you these questions. You are basically framing your speech. So when you're framing a speech, in your introduction of the speech, so you're supposed to make a 3-minute speech, right? I'm helping you with respect to how you can make the content of the speech. So you're supposed to have 3 things in your speech: introduction, body, conclusion. How will you introduce to the topic? I'm giving you 3 ways. You can either find a quote which is similar to the topic. You can basically introduce to the topic, or you can basically ask a question about the topic to the judge, which is basically a very interesting question. So you are the one who is asking the question in your speech and not the judge. Okay, Kashvi.
Mama, I was just asking that is it really important to like add this quotes and all?
No, so these are just 3 ways how you can introduce your topic. You can have your own ways as well, but it's just to help you with what exactly can you do if you're just
And Miss, in the introduction, do we also have to like give our introduction?
This is before you start your speech, so that doesn't come under 3 minutes. So before you start your speech, you can always tell the judge that your name is Kashvi, you're in third B, but that does not come under 3 minutes.
Thank you, Miss.
Alia.
Yes, ma'am, I have a different question. Actually, it's about quotations only about
Yeah, tell me.
So, like, if there's a topic of which is better, simple or not simple, we should be simple or we should not be simple, we should over everything. So if I chose the topic, if I got the topic simple, we should be simple. So can I start with this kind of quote? Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication.
Exactly. Yes, you can.
By Leonardo da Vinci.
You can 100%.
So this is okay if I say this?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Okay, Saranya.
I just had this question. Could you will you be sending this on the WhatsApp group?
I will, yes, I will. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Aradhya.
Yes, ma'am. I was asking if we say a quote first and then we do our introduction, so will it count under the time?
No, you should not give your introduction after the quote. And if you're doing so, it is going to be under your time. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Anushka.
Ma'am, like after you're done from your speech, then the judge asked you questions.
No, nobody asked you questions.
I'm not the opponent and asked us questions. Right?
No, nobody asked you questions. Ayan.
Do we have to say thank you after every for some reason?
After every speech, yes.
Why?
If you don't want to, you can just choose not to. I'll tell you a replacement to thank you after you end your speech. So that's more interesting, okay? Let's go to body then. So we know as to what you're supposed to say in your introduction, but what will you have in your body? So in the body of your speech, you're supposed to outline your pointers. How exactly are you defending your point of view? Prioritize the best argument. So you're supposed to get the best. So after your research, there's going to be, let's say, 10 different points that you have, but you're supposed to prioritize the best arguments out of that research material. Then explain them with good reasoning and example. Now, what exactly is body is just argument. So how exactly are you supposed to structure your argument? There are three parts of an argument. One is claim, then is reasoning, and then is example. So just by the parts of argument, can anyone in the chat box tell me what you think is the most important part of the argument in the chat box? Just guess.
Miss, I have a question.
I will take that in a bit. So although saying that the answer is reasoning, that's the correct answer. The most important part of an argument is reasoning. I will tell you as to why that's true. But before that, Nivan, what's your doubt?
Miss, my
Nivan?
doubt is should we say claim and then say all our thing, or just we should just start our paragraph which we want to
So
state?
yeah, you can. So this could be basically as structured as you saying that my first argument is this, and then you explaining it. Or if you want to make it paragraph wise and not segregate as to what your claim is, reasoning is, or example is, you can do it that way as well.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to now give you an example of it. For example, and this is going to be little difficult, so try to follow it as much as you can. For example, if the topic is going to school is important and you're basically opposing it and you're saying that going to school is not important, the claim could be school has a negative environment, which is why you shouldn't go to school. Your first reasoning is basically you explaining as to why school has negative environment. So the first reasoning is in school, people tend to compare themselves with others. This is wrong. Pupils should learn how to compete with themselves because at the end of the day, it matters if you are improving and not if your friend scored more than you. This could also lead to chaotic and unnecessary competitive environment. So the first reasoning is basically explaining as to how in school you oftentimes than not get compared with your friends who are probably scoring more than you. And when you basically compare two different people, it basically puts down my own morale because I feel like, hey, why am I getting compared to the other person? Or why am I not as good as this other person, right? It basically makes you feel lesser and it basically makes you feel like, and it also creates like unnecessary competitive environment. I'm not sure how many of y'all are actually very competitive in school, and you basically work as hard as possible in order to just like probably score the best in class. But it's also something that puts onto your mental health and mental pressure as well. The second reasoning of it could be as a result of toxic competition, the people who have not overall performed well could be bullied by other students. This could lead to immense stress on the people who have not done well. Immense stress at an extreme level could cause students to commit suicide. So this point basically tells that because like there's so much toxic competition in school, it could basically lead to, let's say, good students bullying other students which are weaker, which could basically lead to like adverse impacts. Now this is how you explain that point of how schools have negative environment, which is why going to school is not important. But then in order to make that point extremely strong, you will give another example. So the example here is that a little kid who fails at like a little kid who fails a test could be bullied by another kid. The kid who fails the test would not be feeling good due to stress. With stress packed in mind, he could commit suicide. So this is just an illustration. But then you basically put a statistic which says this is why out of people below 25 years old in school, suicide rate states that averagely 34 students take their own every day due to school. So it's basically saying that a large number of people basically are not able to like cope up with the stress that schools give.
But no student has ever suicided. I never even heard of one student.
I know, but then you should research. So
Ma'am,
you should go. I
ma'am,
know.
students to commit suicide. I
Yes, in
am
the
at
adverse,
level
I
of
know in the adverse cases there has been chances of students doing that, which is why we should never bully anyone and we should always be
ma'am.
nice
So
to others.
basically, due to bullying
Yes,
and due to stress and due to extra studying and not
yeah.
getting good marks, students just hang themselves in their room and just
I know, this could happen. This could happen, which is why it is bad. So it's just an example of argument. You can always run better arguments than this.
Ma'am,
it's kind of violent and all.
Yes, it is violent. Yes, Anushka?
education.
Okay, can you guys keep yourself muted? I won't be able to listen to any one of you if you guys speak. So the point of this is for you to understand that you're supposed to give a claim, then reason it out, and then give examples. Now I'm going to give you an exercise, and then you're supposed to tell me as to how you would basically how you would give reasoning to that. Let's say if the topic is, I'm going to put the topic in the chat box. Topic is if the topic is ice cream is better than milkshake, I want the claim for this. So how will you support this claim? So give me a claim, just one sentence of the claim in the chat box. In the chat box. Quickly. I'll take one best argument and then I'll basically pick 3 students to give me reasonings for that. Milkshake is better. No, you're supposed to say ice cream is better. In the chat box.
Mom, ice cream is better than
Milkshake. Okay. So Kavit and Alia, your ice cream is more popular. Okay. Ice cream is better. Ice cream is better is not a claim. That's a very good claim, Vaishnavi. So I'm going to take this particular claim. So the claim is ice cream is better as it has variety of flavors than milkshake. Okay. So taking this claim, I'm now going to let you guys give me 3 reasons as to why this claim is true. Okay?
Mom, my claim was the same but in different words.
Yes. So like taking this particular claim. Okay, you guys can stop writing. Now tell me as to how would you reason it out that ice cream has more flavors and varieties than milkshake. I can now take these questions through voice. So Vaishnavi, you're really excited. Tell me.
So, ice cream has more varieties,
Mhm.
thus creating a greater. We get to experience more flavors. We
Mhm.
get to we are able to see a new world of sweet. Other than in milkshakes, we are able to see milk and chocolate mainly.
Mhm.
So, creating a reason that it makes a greater visual or a greater taste in the audience,
That's
in
true.
the taste of the audience.
Mhm.
My second point is that ice creams can actually make us actually very excited
Mhm.
because of sugar.
Yeah, but that's another point, and I think milkshake also has sugar, so you can get excited
Less
after
sugar.
drinking milkshake. But that's good. So the first point is good. Shrihan, how would you explain it?
Can I object?
Nobody objects. I'm just telling you how to reason it out. Shrihan, what's your doubt? What's your explanation?
So ice cream is better than milkshake because it has more flavors.
Mm-hmm.
Milkshake only has flavors like banana, mango, plain. But
Mm-hmm.
ice cream, it has flavors from all the way from vanilla to gulab jamun.
Yeah.
So let me give you an example. Let's just imagine that you had like a really heavy dinner, but you still want to have something sweet, and you go out to eat ice cream. But you find a milkshake shop. There might only be mango and banana, and you'll just get bored and not have any food. But if you go to an ice cream shop, you can take chocolate, vanilla, mango, strawberry, and it has way more flavors.
That's true. Who was that again? Who was speaking?
Shrihan, ma'am.
Yes. So did you guys notice that when Shrihan spoke, he basically involved not just the claim, but he talked about two different reasonings and he then gave an example. So this is how your argument is supposed to be. Claim, reasonings, and then examples. This is how you basically explain it as best as possible. I think the flavors argument is done. I want you to give me one more argument and then I'm going to teach you more. So,
Please, me.
okay.
Please, me, please.
Never.
Okay, I want you all to
I didn't get a chance.
I will choose. Mute yourself.
Me,
Um,
me.
Excuse me, ma'am.
who is this? Yes, Amira.
Ma'am, I have a valid point.
Okay, everybody has valid point. Nobody's point is not valid.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Okay, nobody speaks. If you guys are going to speak, I'm not going to
Excuse
give you
me,
that.
ma'am.
Nobody's no, I'm not. If you're gonna mute, like unmute, I'm not gonna give you the chance. Okay, guys, stop. Okay,
Please.
because Ayan is doing a very good dance, I will give the chance to Ayan. Tell me. You're muted though.
Ice cream is less sugar than milkshakes because milkshakes also contain ice cream plus sugar with them in the milk. And ice cream probably has less bacteria and microbes because in the freezing cold, some of them can't survive.
That's true. And you can also compare it with the saying that because in milkshake you're supposed to have like milk plus ice cream plus other things, you have more calories, and you don't want to have so many calories altogether.
And
That's a
sugar
good
is
point.
very bad for you too. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's come to Pehel. Pehel, good dance.
Ice cream has sugar.
Oh yeah. Pehel, go on.
Ma'am, ice cream is better because it helps us cool down in summers.
Yes, that's true. And can you explain it
Can
more?
I also say?
Can you explain it more, Pehel? Like, would you want to say? So, for example, you could give example of saying that you come home after like a really long day from school and it's like sunny and you're just like sweating, and then the only thing that you need is just something really cold so it makes you feel good, and then you basically get ice cream. That is, no one chooses ice cream milkshake. Oh God.
Can I
Yes.
tell a point?
Okay. Aradhya.
Ma'am, I do agree with Shrihan that you can get bored from drinking milkshakes as they give you a limited quality of flavors, and whereas you would say that ice cream melts faster, well, milkshake is just a melted version of ice cream.
That's fair. Yes. Kavit, tell me.
So basically, if you
No, Shrihan, no, don't. You already got your chance. Kavit.
Yes, ma'am, ice cream is better as sometimes ice cream is better than milkshake as milkshake is very heavy, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like sometimes when you go to a restaurant and you order a milkshake, and after drinking the whole milkshake, you feel stuffed and are not able and is not and you're not able to eat another bite. But with
Correct.
ice cream, it's like the exact opposite.
Yes, that's true. So you can have as many ice creams if you want to, but then if it's milkshake, you can't even finish one milkshake together. Yes. Then I'll take Kuber.
Ma'am, ice cream is better because it has more colors than milkshake, and ice cream has a more variety and it's more available in market than milkshake, because there's not a particular shop for milkshakes, but there's a particular shop for ice creams like Amul. But
Not
there's
sure about that because I have seen milkshake shops as well. But then those milkshake shops also give you ice creams. But also I think that's a very good point. I think ice creams look absolutely beautiful. Have you seen Sundays? It's so pretty.
Yes, ma'am, and they have some types of ice cream like gulab jamun have
they look like gulab jamun. Some of them has like black currant has beads type of things
Yeah.
in it. There's some sprinkles which makes it look more attractive.
Yes, so you also gave an example right now. So reasoning and then example. Good job, Kuber. Veer, what's your point?
Yeah, ma'am. So when you when you finish the ice cream, you also have the cone. And like when you get, and now there are not only variety of flavors in the ice cream. Now there's variety of flavor in the cone. Like an example, you are finished with the ice cream. You still have the cone, so you like, so your stomach would be filled. But after you finish milkshake, it's all over. You have nothing left.
So your team milkshake, huh? Somebody in the chat box was talking about how there's a good milkshake place in Chandigarh. If I come to Chandigarh, I will try that, Alia. Just put it in the chat box.
It's me and nobody uses milkshake. Excuse me, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
We have
Excuse me,
types
ma'am.
of flavors.
Okay, okay. I want you guys to keep yourself muted now. Okay, Amaya.
Ma'am, I just want to say one thing.
Yeah, tell
Ma'am,
me.
I have a
There is
point.
Oreo flavored milkshake. There is malt flavored milkshake.
Yeah, but you also have similar flavored ice creams.
Ma'am, there is no malt ice cream.
There is no?
Malt ice cream.
I bet there is. Do you have Milano around you
One
at
thing
home?
I don't like about ice cream is that in Dubai they sell ketchup ice cream.
Oh God, okay.
Ma'am,
And
Okay. Okay,
it
everyone
doesn't seem delicious.
mute yourself.
Ma'am,
Okay, Amira, what's your point?
ma'am, after can I speak?
Ma'am, after her, can I speak, please, ma'am?
I will take only like 2 more. So keep your hands down and put it in the chat box. So, Pehel, you already spoke.
Ma'am, can I speak?
Yes, Ayantika, go on.
Ice cream is better because it comes in many flavors, and it is just, if you, ice cream is 2 in 1. So if you have a melted ice cream, you can just turn it into milkshake.
That's a good point, yes. Durgansh,
Ma'am, ma'am, did I just say one thing?
yeah.
Ma'am, like when you eat ice cream, you can have much more fun, and like you can have 2 flavors at once. But when you put some like 2 flavors in a milkshake, then it just turns like into a flavor sometimes you don't like.
Yeah,
But you can
that's
just
true.
put it into 3 flavors.
Yes, perfect. Lavanya, what's your point?
I was saying ice cream is better than milkshake because milkshake has a lot of milk, but ice cream, it may have a little milk, but the main ingredient in a milkshake is milk, and not everybody can have milk because some people can be lactose intolerant.
Fair, yes.
So it's really heavy, and but ice cream is
But then I think the good response to your point, Lavanya, could be that you can also have milk which is soy based or cashew based, so you won't be.
Yes, but normally sometimes that still doesn't work because even I'm lactose intolerant and it doesn't work always.
That's also a good point. So you don't have a large number of soy based or cashew based milk available. That's a good point. Yes.
Can I
Durgansh.
say my point?
No, Durgansh and then Saranya, and then I'm gonna end it. Durgansh.
And when you finish your ice cream, you still have the cone left and you can easily eat the cone. And if your ice cream is melted, you can also drink it.
Yes,
Like a
fair.
milkshake.
Good point. Saranya.
Games come in many flavors and they also come in many colors.
Fair. Yes. Saranya, what's your point?
My point is ice cream is better than milkshake because milkshake you just drink it and you finish it. Usually you finish it quickly, but in ice cream you can have it for longer.
True.
Miss,
Yes. Okay. I want you all, rest of you all, keep it in the chat box, your points, and then I'm going to come back and read them in a bit. Now moving on. So that was the point of your body. So you're going to you're going to structure your arguments in such a way that first you'll give your claims and then you'll explain them. You're going to explain them and then you'll give an example. Now, how are you supposed to conclude your first speeches? Give the judge a gist of what you said. For example, if you gave 3 points, I'm going to say, Judge, I told you that ice cream is better than milkshake because one, it has better flavors. Second, it has better, you have much more ability to have consume more of it. Thirdly, it looks so much better than milkshake. And lastly, it is a two in one. So if you are eating ice cream, you're also having fun of, let's say, drinking a milkshake. So you basically summarize all of your points. The next thing is tell the most impactful thing that you proved in your speech. So you're supposed to tell as to why specifically your side is better and why your stance is the best. So, for example, if the debate is about Western education versus ancient Indian education, you could end your speech by saying that, Judge, if you want India to independently be the sparrow of gold like it was, we must get away with Western education. So this is the way how you can end your speech. So conclusion is just you giving up, just summarizing your point and then telling the judge as to why your side is better. So this was for the first speech, which is first you give introduction, then you give arguments with claim, reasoning, and example, and then you end your speech with a conclusion. That's for your constructive speech. Put it in chat box, Darsh. I will come back to you. Moving on to the reply speeches, which are the final speeches. Now, again, for these speeches, you have, again, introduction, body, and conclusion. But the point of this reply speech, as the reply word says, it stands for you replying to your opponent's speech. So you and your opponents have conflicting opinions. Hence, you need to prove as to why your view is better than your opponent. So because let's say one person is saying ice cream is better, one person is saying milkshake is better. So you will basically, if you are supporting ice cream, you're going to give all points opposing milkshakes. You will say what are the harms of milkshakes as well in your reply speech. So you're supposed to deal with all the main points of your opponents. So if I were the opponent in this particular debate, and I heard people saying that, hey, you have different flavors in ice cream, I can respond to that in my speech, which is reply speech, by saying that, hey, you can also have so many different flavors in milkshakes as well. You can literally use the same ice creams and make it more nutritious because you can also add milk in it, because milk is always good for your health. So that's something that you can always do. But then second point, that proposition talked about ice cream was that, hey, ice cream is like milkshake can get so much more heavier. I can respond to that in my reply speech by saying that, hey, it is up to you and you can control how much milkshake you actually want to have. You don't need to have a full glass of milkshake. If you want, you can have like some part of milkshake, and you can also share your milkshake with others. So this is how I'm going to respond to all of these points in my speech, which is reply speech. So how exactly are you supposed to give introduction in your reply speech? In your reply speech, you give you again introduce topic with a rhetorical question if you want to, but also you can give a general observation about the debate so far. So in your reply speech, you have heard your opponent's speech as also like your own speech is over. So for example, if the debate was again, let's say about ice cream versus milkshake, everything that you all said was about that ice cream is just unique and like better looking, but then nobody talked about the nutritious value. So I'm unsure as to why I should care about the looks of it or the taste of it, but not the nutritional value, because ice cream can also give you brain freeze. So that could be my observation in my speech. But on the top of that, let's say if the motion is about in a debate about schools versus homeschooling, I could start my speech by saying that my worthy opponents believes that homeschooling could replace going to school. However, they fail to elaborate as to how will students be able to get practical knowledge and exposure to the friends in their side. So you're basically questioning that, yeah, sure, homeschooling is better, as you said in your speech, but I'm going to make an observation. If homeschooling is so good, then how will you actually, if you're studying at home, you won't be able to come out and you will never get practical knowledge as you get in school. And if you're studying in home, you probably don't also have exposure to your friends. You're not going in the school bus. You're also not playing with them in, let's say, games periods, etc. So you're basically making a general observation in your speech, reply speech. In terms of body then, obviously your body is going to have a lot of responses and explain as to why your opponents are wrong. You're going to prove as to why your points are more important, and you're going to contradict your opponents. So you're supposed to point out all the flaws in your opponents, reasons, and examples. So you can basically give counter reasonings, or you can basically disprove your opponent's points. But the more important part is that you are supposed to make sure that when you're basically saying that, hey, this is what my opponent said, and this is how I'm going to respond to that, though you're supposed to give good reasoning and not just question them. So it's not supposed to be just one liner. You're supposed to give much more nuanced response. So I'm going to give you an example of how you can respond. In a debate about pizza versus burger, so you can say, our opponents mentioned that burgers has had more nutritional value than pizza. However, burger patty is fried in oil, which is not good for health. According to a research, regular intake of burgers can lead to obesity. So what I did in my reply is that I basically proved that firstly, burger is not actually healthy, but I also gave a statistical research in order to prove as to why the burger is actually bad for your health. Now, conclusion, how will you conclude your speech, which is reply speech? You will give the judge again a gist of what you said. You're going to summarize your points, and then you will tell the judge as to why the judge should vote for you. So you'll basically tell the judge why you should win the debate and why your points are better than your opponents. Now, some people don't want to end their speech by saying thank you. So like if you want to replace that, what you can actually do is, if your proposition, you can end your speech by saying proud to propose, or if your proposition or if your opposition, you're going to say proud to oppose, and then you end your speech. So this is how you conclude your speeches, which is reply. Now, the general difference is obviously that in constructive speech, you're just giving your own points and your explanations. In reply speech, you're responding to your opponents, and you're basically telling why your points are better than your opponents.
Ma'am,
Now, I will take questions on reply and constructive speech. Are there any questions on reply and constructive speech?
Excuse me.
No, keep your hands up. I'll give you the chance. Nobody unmutes.
I do have a question about the reply.
If you have question about reply speech, then only keep your hands up, or constructive speech. Okay, Darsh, what's your question?
That my question is reply speech like a voting? That do you agree with it with what we say or not?
What do you mean? You're not audible. Can you speak a little louder?
I mean is that that is that the reply speech, is it like a voting system?
No, it's not a voting system. Why would it be?
I mean, and we so just say that you agree with the person.
No, so reply speech is you replying to your opponents because you have heard your opponents. You're basically going to give a speech explaining as to why your opponents are wrong.
Ma'am, rebuttal.
Yeah, rebuttal, yes. Okay, Darsh, can you keep your hand down now? We'll come to Aradhya. Aradhya, what's your doubt? I also want you guys to stop chatting because I can see like chats about pizza and burger. That's not okay. I'll restrict chat if you guys are going to continue with this.
Yes, ma'am. My doubt was in the opposition speech. Ma'am, can we state any new points?
In your reply speech?
Yes, ma'am.
No, you cannot add a new point. Okay. Kashvi, what's your doubt?
Miss, my hand is raised by mistake.
Okay. Anagha? Okay, I think that's by mistake again. Shrihan?
Ma'am, can we give rebuttals in the reply speech or the constructive speech?
You can only give rebuttals in the reply speech.
So, but what if you're opposition? Like, what if you're the
No, you still give only positive speech in your constructive.
What?
So even if you're opposition, you're not still like you're not going to reply in your constructive speech.
So, in your reply, like if you're last and then should you give rebuttals?
Yeah, so you only give rebuttals in reply speech. In your constructive speech, you're giving the positive points.
Yeah, but if you're last, you can't rebut anybody.
No, why? You can't rebut.
Okay.
For this event, you can.
So, like, you'll just say the rebuttal.
Yeah.
Even if there's nobody after it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about opposition reply, right?
Yeah, since it's last.
Yeah, it's okay. You can reply. You can respond. Yes. Okay, Manya.
Ma'am, how long will the reply speech be?
Okay, I want the answer to this question in chat box. How long is the reply speech? It's for 3 minutes, Manya. Both constructive and reply speeches are for 3 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
Bhavika?
Ma'am, I couldn't understand the conclusion of reply speech.
Okay, so conclusion of reply speech is basically, since it's the last time you're speaking, and you obviously, by the point of the debate is for you to win the debate, you're going to end the debate by saying as to how the judge should basically vote for you, which means why the judge should basically think that you are winning the debate. Why should the judge think that you are winning the debate? So you're basically selling your case. So you'll say, panel, I prove to you that ice cream is much better than milkshake because of these reasons, which is why proposition should win the debate. This is how you can end your speech.
Thank you, ma'am.
Aradhya?
Ma'am, I actually have 2 doubts.
Okay.
Ma'am, like you said, the opposition of the constructive debate will not be able to do rebuttals in his speech, his or her speech. So, like, if the proposition speaker speaks a point, and then coincidentally the opposition candidate opposes the same point, so like, will that be counted as a rebuttal?
No, but then don't specifically try to rebut in your constructive speech.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, the other question is like, if you take an example of burger and pizza, so like with my actions, can I explain the, not exactly explain, but give the reasoning of my argument?
With your actions?
Ma'am, like my body language, my manner.
Yeah. I mean, you can, but then, I mean, at the end of the day, you still have to speak about why you're saying what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
Yeah, you can always use hand gestures. That's good.
Ma'am, because I like to move my hand a lot.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love it too. Kavit?
Ma'am, can we make rebuttals in a constructive speech?
No, you can. That's exactly what we're talking about.
And ma'am, the other doubt is, can we introduce new points while rebutting in the reply speech?
No.
So we have to rebuttal our opponent's points with the points which we have already introduced.
No, you can rebut them by so when you're rebutting them, you can basically say anything, but then you cannot specifically say that I'm going to tell you more reasons as to why you should believe in what I said. So you cannot give more reasons to what you've already said, but you can just rebut them by anything that you want to say. Yes.
Like your rebuttal can't turn into a new point.
Yeah, correct.
Miss, in the rebuttal, one question. Do we have to address the opponent or the judge?
You're supposed to address. So I mean, it doesn't really matter because I mean, you're just like stating at your camera, but then you're saying you're generally addressing your opponent because you're basically responding to their claims. So yeah, it's more towards your opponents.
So do we use their name or what? How do
No. You just say that my worthy opponent said this, but I believe this.
Okay.
Okay, Alia.
Ma'am, I was going to say, like, for example, if I want to add a quote and the topic becomes like, which is better, pizza or French fries. So if I want to like say a quote, so which one can I do?
So if your side is pizza, then I think you can probably find like good quotes by owner of Domino's Pizza. I mean, you can basically find
what about the famous phrase East or West? This is the best.
Oh yeah, sure you can. You can do anything that you think the judge is going to be liking. So anything. Oh, I also think that something funny is always great to start your speech with, or like basically between your speeches, it's always very engaging. So
if I say pizza is the best because it can come in thin crust made of wheat and thick crust and which is much better. So in between, when my like opponent says that French fries is the best as it is easy to eat and you can use it as a travel snack. So can I say East or West pizza is the best? And
But-
you know,
Yeah.
And you know why? Because pizza can come in many different kinds, like
You can.
corn pizza, only tomato pizza. Then we have like those farmhouse and margherita. And then we have like those Four Seasons pizza.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
in
you
French
can. You
fries,
can say.
but
You
in
can.
French fries, you only have either peri peri or you only have like those normal French fries.
Yeah, you can. You can. Vaishnavi, what's your question?
Ma'am, how many judges will be there?
One judge per round.
Okay. 3?
Anushka, no, 3 judges only come by when you go to the qualifiers round, like the later rounds, not now.
Ma'am, who are the judges in the first round?
I think I already told you the judges are like really experienced debaters who have won debates and have
I'm a judge.
qualified many debates. Yes, I'm not going to be judging you. I don't.
I'm a judge. I'm a judge.
You are a judge. If you want to believe so, okay. Anushka,
Yes, ma'am, in the reply round, can we only reply and like not put any new statements?
no, don't put new statements, but then you can just generally state as to why your side is better, what all you already explained, all of that, and then you can summarize your previous points. But then try to utilize all 3 minutes in trying to respond to the opponents.
Ma'am,
Just a second. Shrihan, I'll come to you. Kashvi, what's your point?
yeah. So, ma'am, with that, I wanted to ask that, like you said, when it is a reply speech, in the reply speech, is it necessary to speak 3 minutes? Because in the reply, I don't think we have these many things to say.
No, there is so much that you have to say because you're supposed to respond to 3 minutes of your opponents. So, firstly, that, but secondly, if you don't really have anything, then probably just talk about, like, summarize your points in your from your first speech. But also, you can add more new quotes, like you can just add more quotes from different people. You can add, let's
And
say,
miss,
yes.
miss, I just wanted to say one more thing. That I also do some classes, like there is one classes in which we do how to perform speeches and do debates. So I know like how to come there and use our hand gestures. I'm actually, whenever I speak, I'm like my hand gestures come to me naturally.
That's good. That's good. Very good. Shrihan, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, when do we have to say our rebuttals in the reply speech?
So,
In the introduction?
yeah, correct. In the body.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I'll see you why I should be the judge. I have so many medals in debating.
God.
four
Good job.
medals.
Good
I
job.
have 4
We'll
medals
give
and
one
I have
round of applause for Ayan.
I have trophies as well. 6
That's amazing.
Ma'am, I have 3 trophies. I have
Ayan,
8
you're
trophies.
still very young to be a judge. So we will basically have
Ma'am,
elder judges to you guys.
Won this
Um,
I want 3 trophies for debating.
I have
That's
8
good.
trophies.
good job, guys. Stop. I mean, good for you
Ma'am,
all. You're
Ma'am, I
doing
have
really good.
4 trophies of chess. Then I have 1 school trophy. Then I have 1 trophy of drawing.
All
Then
of
I
y'all are doing extremely good job. I'm really happy.
have
Very
another
proud.
chess
Miss?
trophy.
Just a second. Okay, everybody mute. If there are no more questions, we're gonna end today's session.
Ma'am?
Yes, so all those who don't have any question, you can leave the meeting. But
We have
yeah,
a question.
if you have any doubts, you can always.
Can I leave?
Can